Hey guys, I decided to take a break from complaining about the snow to do a tag video for you guys. Now this is actually just a random one that I found on YouTube, so here we go. What are you currently reading? I am currently reading Shades of Grey by Jasper Fforde. I'm almost 200 pages in and it is absolutely fantastic. I'd class it as a dystopian, to be honest, because it's basically our world in the future. And I think that the premise behind the story is absolutely so imaginative, and I think it's so creative, as it's basically a world revolving around colour. In this world, colour means hierarchy, and the better colour you are, the higher you up on the social ladder. So basically, if you're a purple, then you're the highest, and if you're a grey, you are the lowest. And I absolutely love the whole idea behind the story, and I'm excited to see where it's taking me, because I have not been disappointed so far. Name a book that you love. I'm gonna go for Pandemonium by Lauren Oliver, which is basically the second book in the Delirium series. Now, I didn't think that Delirium was 100% amazing. I thought it was really good, and I gave it a 4 stars because I thought that there were certain aspects of it that were really lacking, but Pandemonium absolutely blew me away. I thought that they improved on everything negative that I thought about the first book, and I thought this book would basically follow the same suit as the first one, but it was totally different, and the characters developed so amazingly, and I just absolutely loved it. And I am mega excited for Requiem, I think that's how you pronounce it. Hope that's how you pronounce it, because the ending of Pandemonium just left me wanting to read the next one straight away, and I'm not the kind of person that reads a series in a row, so for a book to have that kind of effect on me, it is absolutely amazing. Name a book that you hate. Now, this is a really easy choice for me because I absolutely hated Matched by Ali Condé. I thought it had no story, it had no imagination, the characters were lifeless and bland, and to be honest, I only got 150 pages in before I just had to stop because I was just getting so freaking frustrated at the whole thing. It was just boring, and I just wanted something to happen. It just seemed like event, no twists, no turns, no... It was just horrible, and I hated it. Name a character that you relate to the most. Now, I'm going to say Lena out of the Delirium series, which I just mentioned, plainly because I just feel as though Lena is me, pretty much. Give an inch or so in height, like she is described exactly the same as me. She has the same personality as me. She just develops is the way that I feel that sometimes I develop as a person. I was going to say a character then. I'm actually a real person. Trust me on this, I am a real person. But yeah, I feel as though she developed the way that I feel that I would develop in that situation, and I just... as soon as I read about her character, it was just me in a nutshell, pretty much. Shortest time ever to read a novel. Now, that would have to be, I think it was not last weekend, but the weekend before, I finished The Fault in Our Stars by John Green in an afternoon. I pretty much spent from about 11 in the morning till about 6 o'clock in the afternoon, and I was just blown away. I've never done that ever in my life. I've never read 300 pages in an afternoon. I mean, I'd be able to read like a 150-page one because it doesn't take me that long. But for me to read a 300-page book in an afternoon is a massive feat, and kudos to John Green for doing that, because I was absolutely blown away by his book. It was absolutely phenomenal. Can't even say the word phenomenal. It was absolutely phenomenal, and I have never ever felt that way about a book before. Name a guilty pleasure book. Now, to be honest, I don't really have any guilty pleasure books. I mean, like, I generally, I don't know, if I like something, I like something. I mean, what's the point in being embarrassed about reading a book, do you know what I mean? If technically I was to say anything, it would probably be some kind of romance novel, because I'm not really a big romance fan, so anything like Pushing the Limits by Katie McGarry, for example, I absolutely adored that, and that isn't really the kind of thing I read, because I normally don't read like contemporary romance kind of books. Name your favourite historical novel. I don't tend to read historical novels. The only kind of historical novels are ones with fantasy in them, like A Song of Ice and Fire series, or Eragon, and what else? Clockwork Angel to a certain extent because it was set in that time. I tend to read books that are set in history but aren't necessarily true, so I can't really answer that question. Name your favourite sci-fi novel. Now, this one I know I definitely can't answer because the only sci-fi novel I think that I've read was Across the Universe by Beth Revis, and I absolutely hated that book. Well, I didn't hate it, but I didn't like it either. So I can't really use that as my favourite. So on to the next question. Name a book / books that you would like to read. Now, I've got so many that I want to read, but ones that are main that I really want to read are sequels. Requiem by Lauren Oliver, which is the 3rd book in the Delirium series. We've got Cinder by Marissa Meyer, which is the 2nd book in the Lunar Chronicles. Got Clockwork Princess, which is the 3rd book in the Infernal Devices. I've just ordered Clockwork Prince, so I will read that before it comes out. We've got the rest of the Mortal Instrument series because I've only read City of Bones, and I've ordered the next 2 books in the series, so I'm on my way there. And basically I just want to finish series, if I'm honest, and I've just ordered The Darkest Minds, and I'm so excited to read that as well because I've heard so many good things about that, so that is one of my top things to read as well. Oh, it just sounds amazing. Favourite genre. Now, I don't really have a favourite genre. I have a genre that I read a lot, but I don't necessarily have a favourite one. I tend to read YA dystopia novels a lot, or just generally YA, but I'm trying to broaden my horizons and trying to read more books of different genres just so I can say that I've done it. Because I want to read a horror, I want to read a sci-fi, I want to read a historical novel, I just want to read anything but YA, because sometimes I'm just getting a little bit sick of it. Like, I'm just fed up with the love stories, to be honest, but I mean, I still love it, but sometimes they get a little bit boring and predictable. But hey ho, what can you do? Name your book character crush. Now, this is going to be one of 2 people, I think. It's either going to be Will from the Infernal Devices series, because of the fact that he is hilarious. He is so sarcastic and witty and just so sharp, and I absolutely love that in a person. I was more excited to actually read the sections between Tessa and Will just because their exchanges I found absolutely hilarious. A lot of people actually like Will out of the Infernal Devices, so that is a kind of stereotypical answer, I think. But the second person is Noah out of Pushing the Limits. He was just one of the most perfect characters I've ever read. He was perfect because he was not perfect. He was like your typical everyday guy. He was caring and thoughtful, but still he was stupid at the same time and thoughtless. So the fact that he wasn't perfect was great, and the fact that he could recognise his flaws and sometimes he didn't recognise them. So he was just your average everyday person, but he was still such an amazing character, and I absolutely loved his and Echo's relationship together. I thought it was absolutely to die for. If you could look like any character, who would you choose? I think this is a kind of a stupid question if you ask me, because when I think of a character, I think of it at the time of reading. I don't remember what I thought that they looked like after I finished reading. So, I don't know. It's just a bit weird. I don't really want to look like any of my characters, even if they are like the most beautiful person ever. Like, why would you want to look like the characters? I don't understand. Sorry if I'm being a bit dumb, but you know. So that was my tag. I don't actually know what kind of tag it is, to be honest, but it's just a random book tag, so I guess I'll call it the random book tag. I'm not entirely sure myself, so I am going to tag some people now. I am going to tag Just a Random Reader, Peanut Muffin 93 and Marth Bozart. I will leave all of their links in the down bar below, so go check them out because I think they're all fantastic, and I would highly recommend you check out their channels. But from me, I think I'm gonna be out.